If your style doesn't match your ambition, the world won't either. And I had to learn this the hard way. My name is Dante, and I'm back from my 6-month hiatus, ready to reclaim my throne. As your go-to pop culture, music, lifestyle, and now fashion creator, I have reflected and realized some things. So it's time we sat down for an Aperol Spritz and let me reintroduce myself. We do not acknowledge birthdays around here after the pandemic because time is a man-made construct. Word to Miss Carrie, darling. My only goal in life is to be see you next Tuesday, paying homage to the legends of the past while moving to the future. And this needs to start with my personal style. I'm here for vintage clothes, not values. Specifically, archival. I am a Taurus, but I don't make it my whole personality. You may recognize me from wishing on wishbones, talking about the pop stars that had one chance, comedic sketches, teaching you how to be iconic 101, or teaching myself with Project Iconic and getting my life together with Devo Diaries. I'm plus-sized, Italian, and pop culture obsessed, and that's obvious from everything on my plate. Seriously, I'm a professional communications graduate from TMU, a social media freelancer with my agency Studio 54, the occasional line dancing instructor with Cheatin' Hearts, a pop music podcast co-host at Pen Pop, and the creative director of my life. I've also been working on the latest cure for medical fashion. Stay tuned. I post on all of your favorite social media apps, so don't be shy to connect. You can either find me walking towards my daily 10,000 steps, on FaceTime crashing out with my friends, studying icons, or spinning music. I'm currently rereading You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hayes, watching cult classics on Tubi, and typing away to Sade. When I was growing up, I wanted to be an opera singer, a taxi driver, and a merman. What? I'm very ambitious. Apparently, I've now signed up to be my own stylist with a $1 budget, American Eagle skinny jeans, and a green screen, so you can't say I don't try anything. Courage over confidence is my motto. Consider this the first fitting. The whole collection's waiting for you here. Make sure to follow to reserve your front row seat. That's all.
My eyes are starving for beauty.
So now that you know who I am, what I do, and what I'm about, let's talk about what I wear, or what not to wear, honestly. I realized the secret to life is having a good outfit. Seriously, like Rihanna said, she can beat me, but she cannot beat my outfit. That's something I've come to believe more and more. Not just because I love fashion or because you feel more confident wearing the right outfit, but because I realized something even deeper. Ever since I can remember, I have struggled with articulating what's up here and translating it here. And that led me to isolating myself, especially during the pandemic. It's easy to look presentable from here to here, than to force myself to style an interesting outfit. I wasn't isolating because I'm antisocial or lazy. I was isolating because I never had anything to wear. Not in a dramatic way, in a nothing in my closet reflects me anymore kind of way. I literally want to throw out my entire wardrobe. And I will be in a future video. Because the truth is, the reason you may not be successful might just be because your clothes aren't interesting or stylish. Think about it. When you have a goal, no matter how talented or productive you are, eventually you need help from others or an opportunity to outsource the work. And that requires networking and making a good first impression, which comes down to the clothes. Look at any fashion icon in celebrity culture, and behind them is a whole team of stylists, tailors, designers, makeup artists, hair artists, estheticians, and even plastic surgeons sometimes. Because they know that if they don't look their best, nobody's going to care about the product they're endorsing or the art they're releasing. Okay, maybe some of these celebrities have the personality to keep their core fans, but no matter how much you love your fave, there comes a point where you can even admit they missed that red carpet look. It's not shallow. I'm not saying you have to be a model or wear all designer clothes to be successful, but a good wardrobe is like good personal branding. Do you remember the most functional water bottle out there? Or do you remember the people at Target fighting over the limited edition Wicked Stanley Cups? Do people want the most comfortable stuffed animal? Or do they want the rarest Labubu right now? Fashion is social currency. I used to think that my problem was overthinking or a lack of consistency or a broken algorithm. Okay, maybe it's a little bit of that. But lately, I realized that it's not my mindset, it's not my habits or my strategy, it's maybe my fashion or lack thereof. So how can I ask people to believe in me when I keep showing up in a black t-shirt and jeans? What I wear is not matching who I am. And honestly, it never has. Let's rewind for a second. I actually grew up around a lot of fashion. My nonna was a part-time seamstress. My mom designed bridal gowns before becoming an interior decorator. We've moved 7 times and she has staged every single house. My dad always has the flashiest outfit in the room. In our house, style did not come over substance, but it was an equal factor. I was that kid playing with fabric in my grandma's basement, designing fake collections with my mom's old supplies, and watching The Devil Wears Prada on loop.
Details of your incompetence do not interest me.
I wore Ralph Lauren polos to school like they were my uniform. So what happened? By 2024, I was a burnt out, underpaid creative, a communications grad with a service business, no real income, and a closet full of clothes I hated. I needed a break, so I took 6 months off. Then something strange happened. My best friend Ari, who works as an NICU nurse, FaceTimed me 3 separate times just to ask what color scrubs to buy. All that there was available was solid colors with horrible silhouettes that were not flattering. These companies spinned a color wheel, picked 3 colors, and called it their spring collection. That's when I realized if even healthcare workers are struggling with fashion, something has got to change. So I pitched him something wild. Let's make our own line. Medical fashion. It wasn't in the plan, but suddenly all the dots started connecting. My childhood fashion memories, my admiration for icons like Andre Leontali and Gianni Versace, my love of 90s supermodels, 80s pop culture, and European runways, my mom's vintage Vogue collection, the fact that I had the opportunity to attend a fashion show before the pandemic. It was all there, but there was one big problem standing in the way. Emphasis on big. The closet crisis. The style icon in my head did not match the mirror. I had Naomi Campbell taste with a Walmart budget and body dysmorphia. As a plus-size guy, nothing ever fits. And when it does, it's ugly or boring. I don't support fast fashion. It's bad for the environment, full of chemicals, overpriced for what it is, but I'm also not rolling in designer pieces either. I've always tried to lean into classic, timeless pieces, but they've never felt luxurious or flattering or even fully me. I don't know what my personal style is, but I do know what I like. And what I like is expensive. Here's how my style has evolved in my life. And this is not a Vogue life and looks. In my childhood, it was colorful skinny jeans, polos, and plaid shirts. My teens was button-ups or t-shirts with the same skinny jeans and a lot of bomber jackets in high school, summer 2016. Tie-dye was all the rage, pullover sweaters, and joggers. My university fits were matching sets, flannels, beanies, and peacoats. Now it's whatever that fits, or forcing myself to buy something at the last minute because I hate shopping. In person or online, it's too much of a process. My new chapter in life is that I'm designing fashion while finding my style because I know that I'm not alone. If you've ever hated everything in the mirror, if you've ever felt like clothes just weren't made for you, I get it. But how do we fix this? Well, here's the thing. I'm not just talking. I'm building a clothing brand from scratch, my personal style from the trenches, and I study icons like it's a full-time job. I was literally raised by a former interior decorator and bridal designer. I know that taste runs in my blood, but I also know what it's like to ball on a budget. I'm not here to sell you a dream I already lived. I'm your new fashionista friend, the one who hypes you up without lying and teaches without talking down. I'm showing you what's possible with what you already have. Because I don't gatekeep. I don't skip steps. I hate people that do that. Most creators sell you the finished product. I invite you into the process. And I've always done that with my past video series. I'm trying to make fashion make sense for real people, real moods, and real life. Together, we're gonna turn that fashion icon in your head into someone you actually see in the mirror. You'll confidently express your unique style, not some trend, not what fits, but what feels right. You'll go from avoiding your closet to being excited to get dressed. Shop intentionally and try new looks that reflect who you truly are. We are both gonna be moving from anxious and overwhelmed to confident, stylish, unapologetically you, because your wardrobe should never be the reason you're playing small. So hit that subscribe button and let's make nothing to wear a thing of the past.